Good day, class. Welcome to Playing Tricks in Mathematics. Today, we want to look at another important topic in mathematics. Today, we want to look at Roman numerals in mathematics. Roman numeral is a system of writing numbers in Roman numerical form or Roman numerical standard. So basically, in Roman numerals, you have to follow Roman standard of writing numbers for you to be able to write it correctly. Let's go. First, let's look at Roman numerals building blocks. Roman numerals building blocks. The Roman numerals building blocks are sets of Roman numerals that we always use in writing Roman numerals correctly. Let's look at them one by one. 1. We have I, which means 1 in ordinary number. We have V, which is 5. We have X, which is 10. We have L, which is 50. We have C. We have C, which is 100. We have D, which is 500. And we have M, which is 1000. All these are Roman numerals building blocks. It is upon these building blocks that we write correct Roman numerals. Now, there are a set of rules that you need to follow to be able to write correct Roman numerals. Let's look at the rules. Rules for writing Roman numerals. Rules for writing Roman numerals. Now, let's look at the first rule. When we have a smaller numeral before a larger one, then we subtract. That is the first rule. When we have a smaller numeral before a larger one, we subtract. Let's look at some examples to understand what we are saying. 1. Let's say you have IV. Now, in Roman numeral, I equals 1, V equals 5. You see that I is before V, or I is behind V. That means we have to subtract I from 5. That is, the answer will be V. The answer will be V minus I, which is 5 minus 1. So the answer is 4. So therefore, IV equals 4. That is what the rule number 1 is saying. Let's look at another example. Let's say you have IX. I is 1, X is 10. So this is 10 minus 1. So this is 9. Therefore, IX is 9. Let's look at one more. Let's say you have XC. X is 10. C is 100. So this will be C minus X, which is 100 minus 10. That is 90. So XC equals 90. So that is rule number 1. Let's look at the second rule. Rule number 2. When we have a smaller numeral after a larger numeral, then we add together. That is rule number 2, which is second rule. When we have a smaller numeral after a larger numeral, we add together. Let's look at examples to understand what we're saying. Examples. Let's say you have vi. V is 5, I is 1. So this is v plus I, which is 5 plus 1, 6. Therefore, vi is 6. Let's look at another example. Let's say you have xi. X is 10. So that will be x plus I plus I. That is 10 plus 1 plus 1. So therefore, xi equals 12. Alright? Let's look at one more. Let's say you have lx. L is 50 plus x. Because I is before the, that's why we are adding. I is before the bigger one, x. That's why we are adding them. Then for this one, x is before L. L is 50, x is 10. So L is bigger than x, and x is after or in front of L. So that's why we are adding together. Take note of that. So Lx will be 50 plus 10. So therefore, Lx equals 60. So that is the second rule of Roman numeral. Let's look at the third rule, rule number 3. When we have the same numerals following one another, then we add together. So that is rule number 3. When we have the same numerals following one another, we add together. Let's look at examples to understand what we are saying. Let's say you have I. All of them, they are the same. They are not bigger than one another. So in this case, what we do is to add them together. So it will now be 1 plus 1 plus 1. That is 3. So I is 3. Let's look at one more. Let's say you have x. X is 10, and they are the same. What do? You add together. That is 10 plus 10. So 20. Therefore, x is equals to 20. So those are the 3 rules you need to follow to be able to write Roman numerals correctly in mathematics. The first rule is when we have smaller numeral before or behind a larger one, we subtract. The second rule says when we have a smaller numeral after. The second rule says when we have a smaller numeral after the larger one or in front of the larger one, then we add. The third rule says when we have the same numerals following one another, we add together. Now let's look at how we can apply the Roman numeral. Changing Roman numerals to ordinary numbers. Now I want to see how we'll be able to change Roman numerals to ordinary numbers. Let's look at examples to understand what we are saying. Let's say you have D, C, 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 I, V. This is what you have. So let's break it down so that we can get the accurate value. Now, D is 500. C, C, C. They are after the D, which is larger. So looking at it like this, we are going to add together. So C, C, C. Now, C, all of them, they are of the same value. So C plus C plus C, that is 300. So I, V. So I is before V, which is a larger one. So we are going to subtract. So this will be 5 minus 1. So this is 4. Then you add everything together. 500 plus 300, 800 plus 4. The answer is 804. So D, C, 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 I, V is 804 in ordinary number. Let's look at one more example. Let's say you have C M D X X X I V. Alright? Let's start with the row. Now, this is C, 100. This is M, 1000. Now, C is behind or before M. Then, that means we are going to subtract 100 from 1000. C, M is 1000 minus 100. So, this is 900. Now, D is 500. Let's write the D. 500. Now, X, X, X. 10 plus 10 plus 10. So, we add this one to the what? 30. Then, we have IV. This is 5 minus 1. That is what? 4. Then, we add everything together. This is 4. This is 3. 9 plus 5. That is 14. So, what we have is 1434. Therefore, C M D X X X I V is 1434. So that is how to apply Roman numeral. We can convert Roman numeral to ordinary number. Let's now see how we can also convert ordinary numbers to Roman numerals. Let's look at examples. Let's say we have 1594. We want to change this from ordinary number to Roman numeral. Now, 1000. That means we are going to have M is 1000. 1594. 500 is there. We are going to write the D, which is 500. Which is 500. We have 90. C is 100. X is 10. So X is behind the C. So we are going to remove this X from C. That is 100 minus X. So this will be what? 90. Then we have IV to be 4. Alright? Because this is 5 minus 1, 4. Now we add everything together. So this is 4. This is 9. This is 5. And this is 1. So therefore, M, D, X, C, I, V is 1594. So that is how to convert or changing ordinary number to Roman numeral. Let's look at one more example. 2. Let's say you have 3, 4, 9, 8. So we want to convert 3498 to Roman numeral. So we have 3000. That would be M, M, M. That is M in 3 places. This is rule number 3, that if all the numbers are the same, you add them together. Don't forget. So this is 3000. 400. D is 500. And C is 100. So it's better to write it like this. This is very nice. So D is 500. C is 100. So we are removing 100 from 500. And this is now our 400. We have 98. 90. C is 100. X is 10. We put it behind. If you put it in front, it will be 110. So we have, because we are looking for 90, we have to put it behind it. That is before it. So it's now 100 minus 10. This is our 90. Then 8. V is 5 plus 1, 6 plus 1, 7 plus 1, 8. So VIII is 8. So this is our 8. Let's add everything together. This is 8. This is 9. This is 4. This is 3. Then we'll put all this one together as well. So therefore, M, 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 C, D, X, C, V, I is the same thing as 3498. So far, so good. That is how to write Roman numerals in mathematics correctly. Following all the 3 rules in writing Roman numeral, then you'll be able to write any Roman numeral correctly, either changing it from Roman numeral to ordinary number or changing it from ordinary number to Roman numeral. You should not have any issue. And always remember the Roman numeral building blocks. They are very, very important. From I down to M. I is 1 down to M, which is the largest, 1000. Thank you for watching and listening. Please help to like this video and other videos on our channel. Make your comments. We would love to have your feedback. Help us to share this video and other videos on our channel and subscribe to this channel. See you next time.